was trending too. This guy brought an Apple Vision Pro to the Kanye listening event. Like, dude, what are you doing, man? Like this thing just came out. It's like $4,000, and he brought it to a Kanye concert. Like, Kanye finally released Vultures. It's been a fun, hectic rollout. He had a listening party on Thursday night in Chicago, and then another listening party Friday night, and he actually dropped the album not on Friday when promised, but on Saturday. It was a lot of fun. I will say that I wasn't sure if it was gonna be a good album. Like, I wasn't a big fan of the first single, Vultures. But this album, even though I've only lived with it for about a day, I'll say it's a pretty good album. Uh, like, it's I don't know how Kanye manages to reinvent himself every album, but this album doesn't really sound like anything he's done before. This is Kanye, like, this is Kanye turning back to the dark side. Like, the Jesus Kanye is gone. This is Anakin waking up to find out Padme just died, and like that's what this is. This is Kanye going back to the dark side, and it's a very sexual album, very horny album. Like this, I'm actually a little surprised Kanye went back to this because like he swore he wouldn't do this, but let's kind of start at the beginning. Let's see if there's anyone in chat first. All right. Kanye with Vultures. I prefer parrots. Ha ha. All right. So I guess we gotta start at the beginning. Thursday night we had a listening party in New York, and I knew the album wasn't gonna come out Friday because he had another listening event planned for Friday night. So it made no sense to me that he would release the album Friday and then have a listening party for the album that was already released. So I knew it wasn't going to come out, and anyone who's ever like been through a Kanye rollout knew this album was not going to come out. So he had a listening party in New York Friday, and then the big drama that happened afterwards was one of his songs. What's the name of the song? Carnival, which is the best song on the album. Carnival samples an Ozzy Osbourne, a Black Sabbath song. I think it samples like the Iron Man guitar riff from that song. So Ozzy had some things to say on Twitter the day after the listening party. Let's go ahead and take a look at that. All right. Well, first of all, Ozzy misspelled Kanye's name, wrote Kane West. So like he didn't even tag the right person. But Kanye West asked permission to sample a section of 1983 live performance of War Pig from the U.S. festival without vocals, and was refused permission because he is an anti-Semite and has caused untold heartache to many. He went ahead and used the sample anyway at his album listening party last night. I want no association with this man. So yeah, Kanye Kanye does this a lot too. He'll like sample, and if he gets refused permission, he'll just release the album anyways with the sample, and then what ends up happening is like days later he'll remove the sample, and then the song will be updated to not have the sample. I actually hate when artists do this, when they're constantly changing their songs after they already uploaded the album. Like, I think once you put a piece of art out there, it should just stay out there and you shouldn't be changing it. Like, I know like Kanye's like George Lucas, like constantly changing, making changes that the fans don't want. But yeah, so Ozzy wrote, I want no, association with this man. But this was just a few months ago for Halloween. Just a few months ago for Halloween, Ozzy and his wife dressed up as Kanye and Bianca. What do you mean you don't want association with this man? Kanye's been talking anti-Semitic for like a year now. So like he was doing it while you were dressing up as him. So what do you mean you don't want association with this man? Come on, Ozzy. All right, let's check the chat real quick. I didn't know artists change their music like that. Kanye was actually one of the first artists to do that. Like, but like Beyonce was another big one where like she released a song that had you know that song Milkshake by Khalees. My milkshake brings all the boys to the yard. It had a sample of Milkshake, and Khalees said something on Twitter like, "Oh, I didn't approve the sample," and then Beyonce went and just deleted the sample. So like, all right, Khalees, well then I'll just take it out. Another one was on Donda. Chris Brown was on a song with Kanye, and then like Chris Brown came out like days later after the album was released and said something negative about Kanye, and then Kanye was just like, "Oh yeah, I'm gonna take you off my album," and then he like went back to Donda and took Chris Brown off the song. So like if you didn't download the album, then the version of Donda on streaming sites now don't have Chris Brown because Kanye took him off because Chris Brown said something negative about him, and that's the kind of petty guy Kanye is. Like you say something negative, if you say you can't use a song, he'll still use it anyways, and and if you say something bad about him, even if the album's already out, he'll go in and change it. The worst of this is Yeezus, because Kanye made changes years after the album was had released, and it's something I hate. Like I don't make change. Like Life of Pablo was another one that like just changed constantly, but like he described that album as a living work of art. So like I was okay with the changes for that because like that was like the first time I ever really saw an artist do it. But like now it's just gotten out of control. Like songs are constantly changed after they're released. Um, all right. So while we're talking, while we have this picture up, I just want to say that like I said, Kanye was very before this. Kanye, like once Kanye like became very religious and like he released, you know, two gospel albums, Jesus is King and Donda, and like I even believe like the reason like one of like Kim left Kanye during his Super Jesus era, and like I think one of the reasons was he was being too controlling about it. So like this is a video of like Kanye telling Kim that her outfit's too revealing.
The girl showing her body off, showing this, showing that, and I didn't realize that that was affecting like my soul and my spirit as someone that's married and loved and the father of like now with about to be 4 kids. Of course, it's like a formal underwear. It's hot. It's like it's hot for who though?
So like the night before the Met, you're gonna come in here and say that you're not into a corset button. Give me really bad anxiety. What are you talking about?
Why is that giving you anxiety to say that?
Because you knew last night I was having really bad anxiety, and I don't need any more negative energy for you to now say that you're not into me wearing a tight dress.
You are my wife, and it affects me when pictures are too sexy.
You built me up.
Now keep in mind I have the picture of Kanye and Bianca right next to this video for a purpose.
This like sexy person and confidence and all this stuff.
Yeah.
And just because you're on a journey and you're on your transformation doesn't mean that I'm in the same spot with you. So
Okay, all right, so all right, cool. To be just
So the point of that was Kanye was so like he became so conservative, really, like so religious, so like he said he stopped watching porn and he like stopped smoking weed and stopped drinking. Like he became like, you know, so religious, and he said he would never release secular music again. So like now that we're in this era where Kanye is like, you know, releasing secular music, he is cussing a lot, he is talking about sex a lot, he has his new wife naked everywhere. It just makes me wonder like if Kanye hadn't gone through that Jesus phase with Kim, if they would still be together. Because like I do think it's unfair that Kim is like, you know, Kim was famous for a sex tape and everything. Like Kim is a very sexualized celebrity. So it kind of doesn't seem fair that Kanye would like try to change her just because he was becoming religious, and then like she leaves them, and then Kanye's back to like, you know, back to watching porn and doing drugs and like, you know, hanging with friends. So it makes you wonder if it was worth it. Was it like, if you're not gonna commit to Jesus for the rest of your life, is it worth just going through like a few months of of just judging because you know how some people be when they become religious, they're just like, you shouldn't do this, you shouldn't do that. Like I don't know. Let's see what chat's saying. I wish Kanye would release a real song version of Lift Yourself. I mean, lift yourself and watch the throne. Oh, you mean the joke song? I feel like I feel like that. I mean, that song would have been great if like that song was originally supposed to be for Drake, and the reason he like he released the joke version was because he wanted to release it before Drake. Because once again, Kanye is that petty. So Kanye will like send Drake a song, and this is another thing with bipolar people is they're very hard to get along with. Like they can be up and down, up and down. So like I understand. Like I'll never like say that other celebrities should treat Kanye with respect when Kanye doesn't treat them respect. So like even though Kanye's my favorite artist, he does have to like suffer the consequences of his actions, even if he's bipolar. Like if he's bipolar, he should be taking his medication, but he doesn't. So if you're not gonna take your medication, then you can't like if you're gonna act crazy, then don't be mad at other people reacting to you acting crazy. All right, let's see. All right, so then after Ozzy tweeted that, Saturday comes around or Friday comes around, and Kanye has a second listening event at New York, and this one I watched live. And this one was I have footage of some of my favorite moments from that live stream. Let's go ahead and check it out. But one thing to note is Kanye removed the Ozzy Osbourne sample, and replaced it with the Hell of a Life Iron Man sample from his My Beautiful Dark Twisted Fantasy. So it's like the same guitar riff. It's just not it's not coming from Ozzy. So all right, first of all, this listening party, like it starts off with Kanye playing Carnival, and Carnival is probably the best song on the album, and it's just like I don't know, it sounds like a dark soccer anthem or something. Yeah, this song is a banger. And Kanye and Ty Dolla $ign are all masked up. Like you can't tell. Like Kanye, you can easily tell who he is, but like you know, like Ty Dolla $ign, you're just like, all right, which one's Ty? Is he this guy or this guy? All right, and then this right here is probably the worst song off the album, and it's just because of this hook. This might be Kanye's it might be Kanye's worst hook, but it's so long. It just goes on forever. Tell me how you know. I've been searching high and low, and I can tell you one thing: beautiful big titty but naked women just don't fall like the sky, you know. Tell me how. And Kanye's acting like, look at his dance moves. He's acting like this is so great, isn't it? I've been searching high and low, and I can tell you one thing: beautiful big titty but naked women just don't fall out of the sky, you know. And it does, like that voice sounded so familiar, and it samples a Jay and Silent Bob movie, Dogma, a Kevin Smith movie, which I haven't seen, but like I've seen other Jay and Silent Bob movies, so I definitely recognize Jay's voice. All right, let's see what chat is saying. Nothing. All right, let's keep going. What's on? Oh, this was another one of my favorite moments when what is this song called? 1 second, people. Do It. Yeah, Do It. Like Do It samples Juvenile, and like when the Juvenile sample starts playing, it's pretty. What's happening? Trying to make a movie. Do it. She got the little fast, she finna lose it. Fucking from the back, going stupid. Pulling out the track, she gotta glue it. Any minute, might know she choose it. Fuck her like a lover, I'm confused. She don't wanna go home, she refusing. Hit it off the tree, by that pussy pull it. Top boy, I ain't the little one. Purse. and this song right here, Paperwork, this is another banger. This is probably my second favorite off the album, but like I don't know, I think it samples like a Russian song or something, and it doesn't sound like anything I've heard in hip hop really, and it just
Bitch better get your paperwork back on that for the paper.
all right, and then and then this was memorable because at some point the cameraman starts focusing on the audience, and man, do I feel old because all I see is kids in the audience. Like, oh my God, Kanye, your most sexual album, and it's freaking kids. And I'm not even talking like 16, 17-year-olds. I'm talking about like there's some 12-year-olds, like kids.
Burn, baby, burn. Sometimes it hurts. I guess I never learned.
Look at this.
Turn the CEO of the firm. It's not somewhere smoking sherm with big worm. Man, a couple.
All right, this was memorable too. Guess who showed up? Guess who showed up? Like, wasn't expected. Freaking Mr. Playboy Cardi himself. And I bet you he didn't get paid $6 million or $2 million for this appearance. He probably showed up for free. So Playboy is actually on the Carnival song, and like he shows up, and then Kanye replays the song. But like this was pretty memorable. All right, we got to talk about this guy too. This guy was trending too. This guy brought an Apple Vision Pro to the Kanye listening event. Like, dude, what are you doing, man? Like this thing just came out. It's like $4,000, and he brought it to a Kanye concert. Like, like he's watching Kanye in like a private island right now.
Put him in the cuff. Jump out the lamp truck. She thought that I lost it. I jump on my red, I push shot, then I go to Boston. I stay with like 10 dots, Austin. Everything gets hot and over. Nosebleed, yeah.
And this right here, I believe this is Vince Staples. I don't want to be wrong, but it looks like Vince Staples.
High speed, I need to roll over. You been at the funny and you fake piping, yeah, just like I'm trying to fuck something right.
This one was funny too. Like this, the camera focuses on this girl looking so bored. Like she was here for Jesus, Kanye. She's like, what is this? All right, and then I don't know why the sound cut off, but like these kids right here, man. This is what I'm talking about. This isn't like. These are kids. These are kids. These are like 9-year-olds, like acting all tough. Like my parents would never let me go to a concert at their age. All right, let's see what the chat's saying. I wish that voice sounded like Kendrick Lamar to me. No, Kendrick's not on the album. Diddy Last Train to Paris and Press Play are two of my favorite albums ever, and this gave me Last Train to Paris vibes from one of its weirdest songs. Yeah, like I could see that. The song you said was the worst song of the album gave me those vibes. I mean, if you're talking about the big beautiful titty blah 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 blah, like it's the hook. It's the hook that makes the song bad. Everything else is actually really good. I like the beat. I like the there's a guest rapper on it. I can't remember who it was, but like he was really good on it. Wow, that Apple Vision guy. Yep. All right, let's see. So then all right, so then Kanye releases the album officially Saturday morning. It was 3 a.m. Eastern time. I happened to still be awake, and when I saw it, I was just like, "Oh my god, he dropped the album!" And Kanye has already made changes. Like 1 day later, he updates the cover art and he adds a new song, and he fixes some of the mixing issues that was on the first version of the album. So like, which makes, there's always going to be mixing issues because he just rushes these albums out. Like he's always like churning it in late. I believe the reason the mix and mastering of the album sounds so good was because like him and Mike Dean finally made up again, and like Mike Dean wasn't, like the first listening party, the album sounded kind of rough, and then like the second listening party, Mike Dean was there, so fans are speculating that Mike Dean showed up, the last minute and fixed up the album to make it sound good. That's not confirmed. I believe that's the case too, because him and Kanye had a falling out during the Donda era, so it's good to see him and Mike Dean working together again. All right, and I think that pretty much sums up everything for Kanye. It's been a fun week, and supposedly we have another volume of Vultures coming out. I look forward to volume 2. Sometimes I kind of wonder if Kanye had, instead of releasing 3 bloated albums, just made one, like just cut out all the fat and made one album with like 15 songs, 15 of the best songs. He might have another classic on his hand. Like the one thing I will say about the first Vultures is like, like all the songs are pretty good, but I feel like he could have, like, if he could have removed some of these songs, added in some of the best songs, some of the others, he could have had a classic on his hands. But we'll see how Vultures 2 comes out, if it even comes out. I also have a feeling that like he changes his mind so much that like he'll release Vultures 2, but under a different name. It won't even have the Vultures name, because he's that he's that impulsive. Like he doesn't stick to the plan. But we'll see.
Introducing the Late Night Show with your host Cuddy Bino. Live streamed every Sunday night at midnight. Search Cuddy Bino on YouTube to catch the first episode.